Have you ever seen a simple grocery shopping trip turn into a full-blown showdown over something as small as a price tag? That's exactly what happened one Saturday morning when Karen, a woman already infamous in her neighborhood HOA for endless complaints about fences, lawns, and parking spots, walked into a busy suburban grocery store ready to unleash her attitude. From the very beginning, she seemed displeased, rolling her eyes at the automatic doors, sighing dramatically when kids ran past, muttering about slow workers. But the real eruption came in the personal care aisle, where she picked up a large bottle of shampoo, glanced at the shelf, and suddenly raised her voice loud enough for half the store to hear. "This says $5.99 here, but it rang up $7.99 at the scanner. That's false advertising, and I will not stand for it." Shoppers turned their heads, some curious, some already annoyed. A polite employee hurried over and explained calmly that the smaller bottle was $5.99 and the larger one she held was $7.99. For most people, that explanation would have ended it. But Karen wasn't most people. She folded her arms, puffed her chest out, and demanded the lower price, insisting she knew her rights and even claiming she deserved the product for free because of the stress the store had caused her. The young worker tried again, but Karen only got louder, throwing in dramatic lines about corporate scams, consumer abuse, and how her HOA fees proved she was a responsible citizen who deserved better treatment. By now, a crowd had gathered, some discreetly recording on their phones, others shaking their heads in disbelief. The manager, Sarah, stepped in and kindly explained the situation, even offering a small discount to keep things calm. But Karen wanted more. She wanted victory, public recognition, and control. She began yelling about Yelp reviews, threatening to shut this place down, and demanding the entire store hear her grievances. When she realized she wasn't getting what she wanted, she pushed her cart to the checkout lanes, ignoring the long line of waiting shoppers, and barged straight to the front. Slamming the shampoo bottle on the counter, she barked at the cashier, "Ring it up for $5.99. I don't care what your system says." The stunned cashier tried to explain store policy, but Karen cut her off, raising her voice again and accusing the staff of harassment and discrimination. The line of customers groaned, some muttering angrily, others filming the chaos. Security began hovering near the registers, but Karen doubled down, waving her arms and declaring she would not move until justice was served. The entire store was now watching the scene unfold, tension rising, unaware that this was only the beginning, because the real drama was about to erupt at the billing table itself. The moment Karen planted herself at the billing counter, the atmosphere of the entire grocery store shifted from annoyance to full-blown tension. Customers in line whispered to each other, some pulling out their phones to capture what felt like a real-life reality show, while others rolled their eyes, wishing management would just throw her out. The cashier, Mia, tried to stay professional, scanning items from the previous customer and politely telling Karen to please wait her turn, but Karen wasn't having it. She slammed her hand on the counter and shouted, "No, you people think you can scam me, but I know my rights. I demand this shampoo be sold for $5.99, and if you don't honor that, I will call corporate, the Better Business Bureau, and even my lawyer. You have no idea who you're messing with." The man in line behind her muttered, "Yeah, we do. A Karen," earning chuckles from others, which only fueled her rage. She spun around, glaring at the crowd, yelling about how she was the only one brave enough to stand up against corruption, while everyone else were sheep. The manager, Sarah, finally arrived at the billing area, trying once again to reason with her, explaining store policy and offering again a small discount as goodwill. But Karen saw this as weakness. She accused Sarah of discrimination, claiming she was being targeted because she was a homeowner and a taxpayer who actually follows rules. Security stepped closer, but Karen dug her heels in, insisting loudly that she wouldn't move until she got justice. To prove her point, she started pulling random items out of her cart and demanding each one be checked for price discrepancies. "This bread says $2.99 here, but it's $3.49 at the scanner. This milk says one thing and rings. Another, you're all crooks. Customers groaned, realizing her tantrum might last forever. At this point, Sarah calmly told her that if she could not complete her purchase peacefully, she would need to leave the store. Karen laughed mockingly and raised her phone to record herself, narrating loudly about how she was being mistreated and how she would expose this store on social media. She even shoved the camera toward the cashier's face, causing Mia to flinch. That was the final straw for security. They firmly told Karen to step aside and warned her that if she continued disturbing business, they would have to escort her out. Instead of backing down, Karen screamed, "This is harassment! I am being assaulted in front of witnesses! You will all regret this!" But the crowd was no longer on her side. Several customers actually clapped and cheered when security gently but firmly guided her cart out of the lane. As she was led toward the exit, she kept shouting about lawsuits, HOA rules, and her rights as a paying citizen, but her voice was drowned out by the sighs of relief and laughter from the shoppers she had tormented. One woman even called, "Out, just pay the $7.99 next time," making the whole checkout area burst into laughter. By the time Karen stormed out, red-faced and fuming, the store had returned to normal, though everyone now had a story to tell. People chuckled as they finished their shopping, some posting the video clips online where within hours the infamous grocery store Karen price tag meltdown would start trending. The irony was that all of this chaos had started over $2. And yet, true to her reputation, Karen had turned an ordinary day of errands into a public spectacle, proving once again that wherever she went, drama followed close behind.